profiles too. But I can't read mine, so make sure you let me know you're interested, and we can talk about getting you up here in the box to be a guest on my show. Yes, ego, for sure. Melly, thank you, Jetta. What's up, Emoji J? Jazzy, hello. How are you guys all doing? I asked earlier, and there's still a few of you guys joining. How is your day going? On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not so great, 10 being the best ever, how's your day going? I did. Jameson and I have the same birthday. It was last Friday. I think that shows a lot. Dang, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm sorry you lost your taco box, but I'm glad you were able to make it to shore. That's scary. No. Not true. I'm sure how to rate that. I mean, you're alive. I'm grateful. Thank you, Jody. Thank you for the rose, Scott Lee. Thank you, Sun. Awesome. We're just getting things started here. If you haven't favorited me, this is your time to do so. I'm sorry, Charlie, but I'm glad you're okay. And drop a 1 if you guys are ready for tonight's topic. You want to hear more about it? Who wants to know what it's about? What are we talking about tonight? Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Jazzy. You ready? Cool. So tonight we're talking about removing toxicity from our lives. There are many forms of toxicity. For me, a lot that comes to mind is toxic relationships, but this is not just the case. There are so many other forms of toxicity that can be included in our lives with our health, our food, our nutrition, the way we spend our time, the action we take, the way we set our routine, the environment we live in, the work we go to, the job we have, the career choice we've made, the way we talk to ourselves, the way others talk to us, the way we treat ourselves, our habits. There are so many different forms of who you are and what makes you you, and so many different factors contribute to that. So don't be closed-minded when we talk about toxicity. Don't think, oh, this only relates to one thing, because that is not true. Toxicity can come from all different forms, including from yourself. And the first thing to do is to be aware of it so that you're able to recognize it and then get some type of change, whether that's within yourself or within the people around you. You obviously can't change people around you, but you can change where you spend your time, and you can suggest. So by recognizing your behavior or the other's behaviors or what's going on in your life that is toxic and that you want to remove is the first step. It gives you feedback. It gives others feedback of how you're being hurt or how you're hurting yourself or how they're hurting you or you're even hurting them. And you're able to listen to that feedback or gain that feedback and make some sort of change. And so when this is recognized that there's some type of toxicity, the first thing to do outside of recognizing it is to not deny it. Don't fight back with it and try to claim that the feelings aren't real. The toxicity isn't there because that feeling is there for a reason. And toxic people are toxic to other people around them because they have a toxic relationship with themselves. So you have to begin to work on yourselves before you can carry that over into other aspects of your life. And by combining the feedback that other people give you and the feedback that you give other people, you're able to see what's best for you and move away from that toxicity or slowly cultivate a more positive, highly valued behavior that you want to integrate into your own being. And when you look at a situation and you're like, oh, I'm just going to accept that. It's not healthy, but that's just the way it is. I'm here to tell you, not true. You don't have to accept where you are. You don't have to accept toxic people or toxic relationships, toxic self-talk or toxic environments at work, whatever it is that's toxic in your life. Even if it's your own behavior, you don't have to accept that. You are able to make a change. In life, that's something we are able to control, is where we go and what we do. So if you're unhappy with that situation, be willing to make a change or else get happy with it. What's up, Co? Yep. Eventually, that relationship that's toxic can seep into your work environment, into your home environment. So certain things of your life can definitely move over into other areas as well. Woo! Thank you for the cactus. You're awesome. So as we're getting started talking about toxicity, drop a 1 if you feel as if there is some type of toxicity in your life right now. 1. Drop a 1 if you feel me. You're like, oh, I definitely have some type of toxic something in my life. Cordell. Thank you, Slaya. Thank you, Chris. Casper, right? Y'all make sure you favorite Chris Casper. All right, so y'all feel with me. Okay, so Slaya, Ega, Slim Shady, 2 Chase. Y'all are agreeing with me, Cordell. And you feel there's some type of toxicity in your life. If I can ask for the next comment, what would you say that toxicity is for you? Because for me, I can look at it in different environments, but for me, the most would be some people that I've been recently removing from my life because they weren't serving me well. Thank you for the cherry blossoms. Doing more while getting less. Putting in too much and not getting enough out of it. Understandable. And seeing those people around, for me, when it comes to people, they were taking more than they're giving. So they're trying to suck the life out of me, like physically. I don't know if any of you guys can relate with that. And if so, drop a 1. If you feel like there's certain people in your life that always want to ask you for something or take things or try to use you for something, but they're never asking how they can help you. Yep, exactly, Melly. So it's realizing your energy is being wasted on the negative seeds planted in your life. And when that energy is going to the wrong spot, you're not able to use that energy in a wise way. So it's so important to recognize it. Go plant your own garden. I love that. Definitely, Cordell. So many people do that, Coat. I definitely agree. They're often there to take what they can from you rather than give in return and see what they can do to help you. But they're only going to do that as long as you're able and willing to give. So if you're no longer willing to tolerate being taken from and used and asked how they can take and use and suck your energy dry, that's only going to happen if you tolerate it. So I've had to draw that line, and it happened earlier this year. It kind of re-happened for me where I realized I needed to draw that line in a certain area of my life where I would no longer allow certain people to take from me. And I've had to focus on what's best for me. Same thing can go with patterns. I love that, Dana. I'm glad you brought that up. How about stopping patterns we repeat from boredom? So there's a lot of toxic patterns we may start or repeat because we're bored or we don't know what else to do with ourselves. That can go from drugs, that can go from negative self-talk, that can go from just laying in bed and binge watching TV and not doing anything with who we are, what we want next in our lives. And when we're stuck in those bad behaviors and habits and toxic times where we're not doing anything to improve ourselves, so important. Like I said, the first step to anything with change is recognizing it and being willing to make a change in your behavior, in your environment, and noticing you're your own problem. Exactly what Ego said. You are your own problem. You are only being used because you're willing to give. You are only repeating the behavior because you're accepting that. And so when you recognize that you no longer want to accept that and tolerate that behavior or that toxicity or that person or that bad habit, you're much more capable of taking your life to the next step and seeing what's best for you. I feel attacked yet, like someone understands. I totally understand because for me, like I was saying, when I look at certain people in my life, I allowed them to take from me and to use or to see what they can gain rather than how they can help. And yes, it was difficult to remove them, but it also showed capability in myself. They don't like my so much. What if life's not worth the change? I think it's up to you and your life if you think your life's worth the change. I believe life is worth the change because you're constantly living and each day is a chance to improve and to grow and to seek what's best for you. And if you're not happy with where you are, making a change is the only way to get out of that situation. Hello, the Wheel of Fortune. Thank you for the honey bears. Thank you. If you like what you see here, please make sure you favorite me, click on my name, smash that star, and know that you're so capable. There might be something in this chat or a person or a comment or a sentence, quote, fact, lesson that hits you and melts into your head, your heart, your body, your soul, whatever it is that you believe in. And I'm here to remind you that feeling is there for a reason, and you're so capable of proving yourself you can get to the next level, because I'm here to help you up-level your life. Are you home now? I got home on Monday. So yes, I'm home. I'm so grateful to be here. She definitely knows what she's talking about. Y'all, if you like what you see here, make sure you favorite me, Certified Mindset and Success Coach. I also do some YouTube videos and Instagram posts with inspiring captions, comments, videos, vlogs, and more. But you'll find all of this in my profile up here. And I have this show, One Day at a Time with Charisma, here on Meet Me every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you like what you see here, join every Tuesday, because we've always got a new topic going on, a new guest, new comments, new little attitude in the box. But that's what's up. What's another thing that we can notice with toxic people? Toxic people typically disregard boundaries. And so you may tell someone or even yourself at some point to stop behaving a certain way, but it continues and continues. That's because it's a toxic person or it's a toxic habit that needs to be completely well adjusted. And sometimes toxicity thrives on that violation or that depression, that negativity, that energy draining, sucking vibes. But if you're feeling that toxicity within yourself, you have to let it out so it can be released. So if that's something you're thinking in your head, those toxic thoughts are within you and you want to remove them, I encourage you all to do this little exercise where you can write down all the toxic thoughts you have and burn them, and then rewrite them in a positive manner. That's something I've done when I feel like very overwhelmed or stuff's in my mind that I don't want to keep there. I don't want it to just live there rent free. And I'm like, yo, I need to get this out of my mind, out of my head. I don't want it to just sit there and soak in and just bring me down. I don't take it lightly, but I take it so seriously to the point where I write it all down and I burn it. I release that energy. I let it go. I no longer hold on to it. And that's worked very well for me. Is there anyone else in here that feels like them releasing that toxicity through journaling or through writing down and burning and like removing is helpful for them, or they've done it before, that certain practice? Thank you so much, David. And if it's other people that are toxic and they're not able to accept and recognize what they're doing that's toxic for your relationship with them, and they're not willing to make that change, you must make that change within yourself to know that you don't want to sacrifice your life and your happiness to be in that toxic environment. So it's like, what's best for you? Yes, you can encourage someone to be less toxic, but you can't make someone be less toxic. So it's just making that choice of what's good for you, because you don't want to hang out with someone that's in denial of what their wrongdoings are and that they're always right, even when they're not. Bless me. Name of the one I'm doing the cherries. You've heard of doing that? When you guys think of toxicity in your life, what comes to mind? What do you think you need to work on the most? For toxic environments, workspace, family, friends, thoughts? Understandable. There you go, David. Scare them off. Toxic thoughts. So the friends, telling them, making sure they recognize it, and if not, they're not willing to change, removing yourself so that you're able to prioritize who you are and what your being is. And then the negative self-thoughts. They can be so heartbreaking, mind-wrenching. They can completely stop you from living your goals and your dreams. But it's so important to recognize that those thoughts aren't true and they're toxic. And if you keep repeating them, you're going to believe them. So by replacing those toxic thoughts with healthy thoughts and repeating those healthy thoughts and reaffirming them, your mind will start to become more of a beautiful garden rather than a dead garden that you want to pick out the weeds from. So that garden is still there, but we can bring it back to life by picking out the weeds, the bad thoughts, and watering it with positive thoughts. Anyone with me on that? Like thinking of their mind as a garden. There's different flowers and plants and all different things going on. Some of them are healthier and more beautiful, or like different sizes and shapes and things, thoughts going on in your head. Some are easier than others. Some grow faster than others. They're all different. But you pick out the weeds, the bad thoughts, and then you water the plants, and those ones will grow into more luscious, beautiful flowers. Invasive weeds. Get rid of those weeds, y'all. I love that, Miss Gallo. I live in Smoky. Everyone knows everyone, and I can't get away from the toxic people for more than a week. That's very difficult, Cordell, and I understand not having too many people in your community that you're able to relate and talk to, and I can completely agree with that for myself. I don't, like, my best friends are nowhere near me physically, and they aren't like me. They're different people. And I think it's so important to recognize that you can find friends within yourself, within your books, within your TV shows, within social media, within Meet Me, within what's next for you. Because I searched and searched and searched right around me, and sometimes those people aren't best for you. And it's difficult, but there's also lots of other options outside of staying in the same spot. Fear of staying fresh and being too far from family keeps sneezing here. But fear is the best thing. Fear shows you that growth is coming. Growth is on its way, baby. So, have you guys identified what toxicity in your life is? First step of getting rid of anything is by identifying it. And toxic is actually recognizing the fact that it's harming you. Thank you for the rose, Shaquille Oatmeal. I like your name. That's cute. I'm in a big city. Couldn't imagine living in a small town. Yes. It's crazy ego. It's extremely difficult to recognize all those people. It is. And a lot of the times, those people are our friends, or sometimes even family members that we're afraid to admit that they are toxic for us. And same thing with our thoughts. We're used to thinking those same thoughts every day of like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. I'm this size. I'm not this. She's that. He's that. I'm not. And the reminder is those aren't all true. Those are toxic thoughts. Recognizing and identifying it right then and there is the first step of noticing what can be next for you and what's possible. But when you're stuck in that toxic environment, whether it's people, places, friends, your own thoughts, you don't have to blame others. It can be within you. You have to be firm. You set your own boundaries, and you can't be too nice with others or even yourself. You can't be like, hey, Charisma, I'm not going to talk to myself like that. You are like, I am not weak. I am stronger than ever. I am not insecure. I am confident. I am not a failure. I am prepared for what's next. Replace your words with more positive affirmations rather than allowing yourself to be brought down to the possibilities of failure, other people's words or opinions, because those are all true. You can believe anything. We can believe anything that's given in front of us, but that doesn't mean it's true. So make sure you're focusing your mind on this sunflower, because thank you, Docty, because you can face your mind towards the shadows, or you can face your mind to the sun and let the shadows fall behind you. And it's really just a choice and identifying what you want and what you feel. And if it's not right and you're not happy or healthy, be aware of that and make a change. And this can go with toxic things going in your body. We want to remove toxicity from our life. That could go with nutrition, diet, time we spend at the gym. We could be overdoing things. It could be drugs. It could be certain people. There's a lot of different ways of looking at this. And if certain things are coming at your mind or coming into your thoughts right now as we're speaking, that's probably for a reason. So I encourage you to recognize that right now. Like, It's there. It's not going to go away. That thought's there. So what can you do to change it? So put yourself in the shoes and really think of how you can let this lesson, this next 30 minutes, put you into the next level of your life. And don't play victim. Don't feel like, woe is me. It's like, no, this is to help you up level. And it's same for me. I'm not exactly where I want to be. I'm working towards getting there. Each day is a process and it's a journey and it doesn't happen overnight. But every step is recognizing and identifying what you can do to become a better you. And it's not easy. We're all in this together. Thank you, Matt Yuri, for the balloon animal. Thank you, Shaquille O'Neal, for the heart eyes. You guys are amazing. If you guys like what you see here, please make sure you favorite me. Click on my name. Smash that star. We're about to get our awesome guest in the box for about 20 minutes or so. It's literally one of my favorite people on this entire app. Huge heart for him. And I found out last week we have the exact same birthday, which I'm pretty sure means something because us May 21st people, we're on the cusp and we're a little cray, but we so pumped and we're let's go. If y'all are ready for the guest, drop a 1 because I want to see everybody pumped up in here. Thank you for the heart eyes, Wheel of Fortune. Thank you for the rose, Brandy. Y'all's love and support means the world. And if you like what you see, like I said, favorite me. I'm also doing lots of different upcoming YouTube, Instagram posts, TikTok, other things. Make sure you check out my platforms to get to know me better. Fun videos, inspirational, coming out this weekend. And last but not least, this show is every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. I am a mindset and success coach, so I can work with you one-on-one or as a group. So if there's something telling you you need some extra accountability or push getting out of your comfort zone, I'm your girl. Don't let this opportunity pass. Send me a DM. Let's get it up for our awesome guest. Let's do it. The vacation was awesome. Thanks for asking. Thank you for the hard eyes. Woo!
What's up? What's up?
Hello. How are you, Jameson?
I'm good. Hope you are.
I'm awesome. Thanks so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. I also want to thank you for being on my show 2 times, and you absolutely killed it when I was had you as a guest. And so thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. You're my go-to for sure. Would you like to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your experience here on Meet Me, and even about your show too?
So yes, hey guys, my name is Jameson. I've been on the app for about 8 months now, give or take. I also have a show on Monday nights called Gratitude, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it's very similar to Charismas in a way that we try to talk about positive things. We try to reflect on a lot of things that people are grateful for, appreciative of in their life, whether it be people, circumstances, situations. And we just try to, just bring light to things in life like that make people extremely humble for, certainly a lot of opportunities that they have in their life.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely. Yes.
Put in your agenda. Look at that. Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern. My show Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We got a full positivity over here.
Let's go.
Well, I love it. And I love that your show is all about gratitude. I want to kind of start off right now. Everyone in the comments, drop something they're grateful for. I know I'm super grateful that Jameson's here as my guest. And last week I was in Mexico. I was celebrating my birthday. And I found out Jameson and I have the same birthday, which I'm pretty sure means something.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I actually, because I've known you for quite a while now, being on the app, and you knew me too as well. And I did not know at all that we had the same birthday. So it's just crazy how life works that way.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yep. I love it. Grateful for your health, your son. I love it. That you can swim. That's great. So much to be grateful for. What are you grateful for, Jameson?
A lot of things, really, friendship with people, health. The opportunity to just have another breath of life every single day. You can look around, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to see that a lot of people are struggling, especially in the pandemic and all that's going on with that. Financially, with their job and things like that. So, I think when you start looking around at what other opportunities or lack of opportunities that people have in their own life, it should certainly, make you very grateful for, the blessings that you have in your own life, especially.
Absolutely. And it's so true. And it makes us really grateful for the people that are very supportive and empowering. And when we look back at kind of what we're talking about, the topic tonight of toxicity, of like who in our life is healthy and happy and helping empower us, versus some people might be bringing us down or showing us how we don't want to act or who we don't want to hang around. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's harder to notice that than others. It's like we're in a situation and we're used to that because it might be a behavior or thought or something going on. And it's sometimes hard to recognize that it is toxic. Are you able to relate with that?
I am. I think it's extremely important to surround yourself with the right people. I think a lot of times in life, the people that you have in your life, the people that you keep in your circle, certainly reflect not only you as a person, but it reflects on what you want to have in life. If you,
Absolutely.
the saying goes, I've always heard that, if you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. So if you surround yourself with toxic people, if you surround yourself with people that are not uplifting you and that you're not uplifting them, then you look at yourself and you think, well, what are we doing here? And I think it's extremely important to do that. I think that, as we kind of go through life and you kind of fill people out and you fill out situations, you see what works and what doesn't work. And I think a lot of times, to the point we're talking about tonight, when you don't have what's working and you don't have people in your life that bring you up, I think that's when you have to remove yourself from those situations. You can kindly say, hey, look, I love you. I appreciate you. You might be a good person, but you're not a good person for me.
That's good.
That's when you have to sort of be, mindful of that. And I think a lot of times people as well look at the company that you keep. I think that, if you're not, considerate to what you surround yourself with, people look at you and be like, wow, that's the kind of people that they, hang out with. Is that the kind of people that they want in their life?
Right.
And, sometimes it should make you question, what you have around you, because, a lot of times, it's good to keep your grass cut because then you can see the snakes. And so, when you don't have that in your life, I think that you can be a lot more fulfilling in what you certainly want to accomplish.
That's beautifully said. And I think taking that time, like check-ins with yourself and with your environment helps so much because if you're, like you said, if you don't keep your grass cut, if you're just going and letting it grow and your life just go by, you're not going to notice what the people around you are doing and how they're impacting you and how they're making you feel or the way they're making you act because their actions and their feelings come onto you and vice versa. So hanging out with people that aren't up leveling their life and are just doing nothing and they have no goals and motivation, that's probably going to be in return who you
I heard a wonderful slice of advice not that long ago from a friend of mine. And what it was you teach people how to treat you. You
are.
teach people how to communicate with you. If you allow people to talk to you a certain way, then you're creating a habit of letting them know that it's okay to talk to you that way.
Yes,
And
you have to
so,
set boundaries and
right,
standards what you expect out of the relationship because
sure.
if not, then they think that's okay and they're going to do that and walk all over you.
Yeah, because it gives them a green light. It gives them a pass to do that. And so, as soon as I heard that kind of, advice or that, sort of level of communication, that it's important. You teach people how to treat you.
Absolutely.
And if you do that, if you allow people to treat you kind and be genuine and be generous to you as a person, then those are teaching good habits. But then if you let people, talk down to you, if you let people, disrespect you, if you let people, scream at you or raise their voice, and you continue to allow that to happen, then you're creating bad patterns, not only for yourself, but you're allowing other people to say, hey, Jameson, I could walk all over him. He's not going to correct me. Or, Charisma's going to let me talk to her, that way. And so if you're not being able to do that, or
Right.
to be able to create more of a positive thing and get that toxicity out of your life, then that's where, the change certainly takes place.
So true. And it's once you allow it to happen, it continuously will happen. And then even other people will realize and they'll even come in and start to do it because they think, oh, this person talks to them like that, so I can talk to them like that. Or
Right.
even, for example, if I allowed my employees to like walk all over me at work, it'd be like, oh, well, this person does that, so why couldn't I sit down and play on my phone or steal from the cash register, whatever the situation may be. It's like if one person is allowed to be toxic, the other people in your environment will begin to feel like they can do the same. And it's really recognizing it and demanding that respect of like, this is where I'm setting my boundaries. This is what I'm going to tolerate and this is what I'm not. Because once you start to tolerate it, it's going to become a norm. It's just going to be day after day until you make a change. So you have to set that boundary so you don't even have to make that change, because the change is pretty hard.
Absolutely. And that kind of stuff, like you said, the mindset that you have, the ability to process, all that together, that kind of stuff, it works and operates in different ways.
Absolutely. For me, I know there's certain people that have been toxic and I've had to remove. Is there a certain situation that comes to mind where you've had to remove some toxic people, or maybe you've even got to keep them in your life and show them what you kind of were expecting to make the relationship healthier?
I think to even expand upon that even more and to use kind of the both sides of the coin, I have, yes, to answer your question, I have had toxic people in my life where you just realize that they're just petty. You just realize that they don't communicate the way that you do, and they're not bringing you up, they're bringing you down. And, that's when you have to kind of exercise them from your life. That doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean that, that they don't have a lot of good qualities about themselves. It just means that that's just not working for you. And so, that there have been times in my life that I had to do that, and you have to remove yourself from those situations. And then the other side of that coin is, I think that none of us are perfect. I think that I myself have probably, been, kind of toxic. I think that sometimes there's different definitions of that. I think that you can sometimes not appreciate people the way you should.
Right.
You start out a certain way, and then you kind of go down the path and realize that, I took some detours that I probably didn't necessarily need to do. I think that, sometimes, it doesn't really matter what age you are. I think that we can all sometimes have maybe issues with, maybe possibly the opposite sex, or have issues with relationships. And I think that, if you go into those situations and you're that way, you certainly want to come out of that a better person. You want to learn from that. That way, as you move forward in whatever relationship, friendship, business relationship you have with people, you don't make the same mistake twice. And I think that as you learn, as you grow as a person and try to accomplish that, then that's where you feel like you've been successful, and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes twice.
That's beautifully said and so true. And I would 100% agree. I think all of us have certain traits and behaviors or habits that are toxic. Obviously, none of us have everything 100% perfect. Like, oh, I'm not toxic at all. Come around me. We all have our own things that go on and we need to work on. For me, I know some of my habits or behaviors come a lot from my childhood, thinking it was okay because that's how I was raised or that's how I was treated. So I thought like, oh, it's okay to be treated bad because that's all I've been treated, or it's okay to be disrespected. And then it's kind of drawing that line, and it happens at a certain point when you just no longer want to tolerate that or no longer want to put up with that. And a lot of it shows up from our experiences, but it's realizing, okay, this experience can keep happening forever, or like until you make that change. So why not recognize it, identify it, even though it's uncomfortable for both sides of the party. It's like, hey, you're toxic, or hey, I'm toxic, or we're both toxic. But without recognizing it, you're going to be in that toxic pattern, never ending.
And I think that, in order to get past that and to break the cycle, like you said, for it not to be a never ending thing, there was a great point that Haley made is taking accountability, and J-Rock and agreeing with her. I think that let me put it a different way. When you are a person and you can admit that you're wrong, when you are a person and you can admit like, hey, I'm sorry, I screwed up, I made a bad decision, I made a mistake, for you to be able to do that and hold yourself accountable, for you to be able to say, hey, look, I'm not perfect. We all kind of fall short in a lot of different areas. For you to be able to first to be able to admit that and then be able to fix it, I think goes certainly hand in hand with removing toxicity in your life. Because like I said, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We're all human. We all go through learning experiences in life, and we try to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And sometimes that starts with, being, holding ourselves accountable, holding ourselves to a certain level of a standard where it's like, look, I'm not perfect, but when I mess up, you got to look at that person and say, hey, look, I'm sorry. I
Definitely.
screwed up. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. I'm trying to not be a toxic person. And I think that if you're certainly dealing with a rational person, I think that if you're dealing with someone that is also a forgiving person as well, that all works hand in hand. Because if you're dealing with someone that's just as mature as you're trying to be by saying
They
I'm
understand.
sorry, then you can move forward. You can get past where you're at. You can get over the rut, get out of the trenches, and hopefully, down the road, you can hold hands together and say, hey, look, we're trying to get a better spot than where we used to be.
Absolutely. And it's when you're working on yourself and you have those people around you that understand, they're going to support you. They're not going to drag you down for being wrong and taking responsibility for what you did. But if you have that victim mentality where it's like, oh, this is just me, I did nothing wrong, I'm always right, those people aren't going to support you. But you have to have those people that are willing to understand the journey you're going through and that you want to improve.
Preach.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
And there's so many forms of toxicity, and not just in relationships, but also I know within our own thoughts, a lot of people were mentioning how toxicity runs in the way they talk to themselves. I know I can relate with that at points, especially like there might be minutes where I'm like all up and like, yes, I got this. And then like something could hit or someone could say something or something could affect me and throw me off for a moment. And I'm like, kind of like my energy's just going down. And I could see how the mindset and the way we talk to ourselves can either be very empowering and uplifting or very toxic and degrading to ourselves and our being. I'm sure you could relate.
Yeah, I think that I mean, you made a great point. I think that a lot of people can be triggered in different ways. There may be something that affects me that may not bother you at all. There may be something that you make to be a big thing in your life, and it may not affect me at all. So it shows that just everybody's so different. It shows that everybody operates and thinks in different ways.
Right.
But like you said, I mean, when you have that triggering effect, that's where you have to kind of instill. That's when you have to kind of instill, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish, and
Right.
just kind of go down with, with that in mind.
Because that trigger will hit and it's like, okay, what has caused the trigger? Knowing what the point was that caused it is how you can recognize what to do and how to avoid that from happening again. It's like, okay, this is what caused it. So how did I react? Okay, how should I react next time? Or how can I like try to fix the way I act when that happens? Because there's going to be triggers throughout our life, and all of us have different triggers in different times. Something might trigger you now that didn't trigger you previously because of something you've been through. Or like you said, something could trigger you and not me, or vice versa. But it's really recognizing that and taking responsibility of like, okay, here's my trigger and here's how I react to it, rather than letting it completely tear me down and drag me into a whole nother toxic environment, or even bringing people into the situation, like triangulating them into the toxicity.
I think that when, like you're saying, when you allow things like that to consume your life, I
Right.
think that when you allow things to continue to be overbearing and you don't fix it, I think that's when the depression can hit for people. I think that's when people start turning to, maybe unhealthy alternatives, whether it be drugs, alcohol, maybe, filling a void in their life with other things that maybe not necessarily be great for them. That's when that stuff starts happening. So like you said, you have to figure out a way to, what works best for you, what gets you at a better, point in life for you to feel like that you're back to functioning the way that you want to be. You're back at 100%. Like I said, I say a lot of times that, there's things in life that you have to sort of, just look at the situation and say, hey, look, I got to shut down the engines, recharge my batteries, get myself back to neutral, and then maybe come at it with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh set of ears and a whole fresh mindset that, maybe this wasn't how it worked the first time before, but let me come at it from a different angle in a different way, and maybe I'll have a different outcome this time around.
Beautiful. And it's like, obviously noticing it is so important, but also not allowing it to continue. Like you said, there's a certain point where you can let it consume you. And of course, negative thoughts come to all of us. We're human.
Sure.
But there's a difference of letting it like just come and pass through your mind as letting it come and like bring on another thought and another thought, and then like totally bring you down and stop you from actually like getting up, getting out of bed, or pulling through with that dream or that goal or that decision or that person. It's like, okay, where is the point? Where do you draw the line of like, okay, I'm going to allow this thought to pass through, or I'm going to allow this thought to build into a new thought, to the next thought, to the next thought. So it's really having that time to sit down and reset and reflect on where you are, what you're thinking, what's best for you, because we can go on autopilot day after day after day and have toxicity running through our mind, consuming us, turning into depression, turning into unhealthy relationships, unhealthy patterns and habits and behaviors, and the way we treat ourselves and others. Or just, I think it's so important to like take time to reflect daily on the people we hang out with, the action we take, the way we think, because if we take time to sit and recognize it, we're able to improve daily rather than going on for months and months and wondering why we're so down.
Right. I completely agree. I think that, sometimes to find the answers to those questions are like $100,000 questions that you're trying to figure out on a daily basis. But, that's what life is certainly all about, trying to learn, trying to grow, trying to, be what you can for yourself and others, and to let people see, the best version of yourself, and know that you try to do what you can for others every day.
I love it. And it all starts with knowing and like recognizing and making a decision of where do I want to put myself? Like,
Yes.
who do I want to hang out with? What do I want to think? What do I want to spend my time on? And that's what's so awesome about Meet Me, y'all. You can choose to hang out on some streams that might not be the best, or you can come hang out with Jameson and I, where we're going to empower you.
Yeah. I think it's, you look around the app and there's thousands and thousands of people on here, regular people, top badges, people that just started out. And, as you continue to be on something like this where you live stream for people, you have to have the mindset that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's, brand of vodka. You're not going to love everybody. Everybody's not going to love you. But it's the kind of thing that you can't take personal. It's the kind of thing that you have to just continue to be yourself. And you have to concern yourself with the people that actually do support you. You can't be so concerned about the stuff that you can't control. And that's my biggest thing, is you have to worry about what you can control, and the things that you can't control, you just can't worry about that. You can't allow that kind of stuff to consume your life. You can't allow that stuff to affect your streams or the friendships that you have with people on here, people off the app, on the app. And, as you do that, as you move forward and try to do that, I think certainly life is a lot better when you have that perspective.
Definitely. It's definitely perspective and the way you look at things. And if you care what people think, it's not going to work for you, because no one's going to like and appreciate and agree with everything you do. Like, it's just not possible. There's millions of people in this world, and not everyone's going to agree with what you do and the way you live. So it's finding who's going to support you for you.
Yeah. I always use the interesting story where, say you take a peach or a pineapple or just some fruit that you like a lot. You can have the most perfect peach. It can just be the best thing that you've ever found at the grocery store. And you just look at that and you're like, wow, this is amazing. This is the most perfect thing for me. But guess what? You're still going to have people in life that don't like peaches.
Yeah.
So that's the perspective you got to have.
It's true. It's so true. Just focus on what's best for you and remove the toxicity. And it's harder than it seems, but once you realize and recognize it, it gets easier. And
most of it's up here. Most of it's up here.
Like, once you recognize it in the brain, it like the mind notices how much it's going to help you and like improve rather than being stuck and down. It might be hard to remove those habits or people or thoughts, but in the long run, it feels so good. And you'll be thanking yourself for
100%,
all of this.
100%.
I love it. Do you have anything extra you want to wrap up the stream with or shout out?
Thank you for the people that came in that supported me. Thank you for people coming in supporting Charisma and her amazing show. I love that you thought of me to be on your show. It's been an absolute pleasure. I certainly think a lot of you, not only just as a streamer, but very much as a person and a very successful woman at so many wonderful hats and things that you do in your own life, on the app, off the app. And like I said, it was just such an honor and a privilege to be on such a wonderful platform like Meet Me and to be on an even better show like you have yourself. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And thank you for just the wonderful, amazing conversation we had.
Everyone, give it up for Jameson. Thank you so much. It's such a blessing to know you and to have you here.
Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your evening and an amazing rest of your week.
Everyone, favorite him. Favorite Jameson in the chat. 3. Y'all, how are you feeling right now? Frank, thank you for joining. How are you guys feeling right now? Thank you all to all the love as well. Brady, Chris, Jameson, Doc D, Slayer, and all the rest of you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all, make sure you favorite Jameson, click on his name, smash that star, and click on my name, smash that star. I'm only 8 favorites away from 38,800, which is absolutely insane. And I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you for taking your time to be here, to invest in yourself and your energy and your time in your life to help you grow as a person. Some of this is uncomfortable. It's not fun. We have to take our own responsibility and own up to what we're doing in our life and what's out there for us. Hey, it's not easy. But knowing you're capable and you're possibly out there to be the best you yet, as long as you put in the work, I believe in you. I really do. How are you guys feeling? 1 through 10. How are you feeling right now in this moment? I'm wrapping things up here. We've been talking about toxicity and removing toxicity, people, behaviors, habits. Curious to know how you guys are feeling right now on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Oh, I love it. But Jazzy, Kansas, Frank, thank you for the rose, Scotty. Eagle's a 4 or 5. All right, Eagle, let's get you feeling pumped. Barry, the 6. Ollie with an 8. Jameson. Y'all make sure you favorite Jameson. Thank you again for being a guest. You're wonderful. Once toxicity is removed from your life, you'll find that the pursuit of happiness is actually simple. It's actually right there. The secret is having freedom and enjoying the choices you've made, free from control, pressures, negativity, or any toxicity in general. Well, I'm glad I kind of pumped it up, Ego. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. A lot of fun. I'm grateful you're okay, though. I'm glad to hear that, Glory. Wow. So real. So much can happen. So much can be shown if we open our eyes and reflect on what's going on in our life and the way we feel and the way we act and the people we surround ourselves with. And here to remind you, if you're going through something that feels uncomfortable or unhealthy, you're capable of getting out of that situation. Yes, it's a difficult, challenging situation, but it doesn't mean you're stuck. They're all lessons. Every single experience you go through is a lesson and a form of growth. So look at it in that situation, in that light, and realize how you can learn from each situation and grow from it and take responsibility and set boundaries. There's certain things going on that you don't want to keep continuing and putting and integrating into your life. You don't have to. Take control and remove it. Set boundaries. Set your standards. Demand respect from those people that aren't respecting you or remove them from your life. 2. Thank you, Charlie. Yep, life can change in a split second. And sometimes it's out of our control, but I encourage you for the things that are in your control to face your eyes towards the sun and let the shadows fall behind you. Red Bull, how are you? No situations forever. Oh, yeah? That's good. You're amazing. Thank you, Kate. I'm going to be wrapping things up here. If you're unfamiliar, I'm going to fill you in. My name is Charisma. I'm a mindset and success coach. I work with people one-on-one and in group coaching right here on Meet Me, individually, on the phone. We work with people on Instagram. I have different courses. I have my own YouTube channel called One Day at a Time with Charisma, which you can find up here in my profile, and my other social medias, which you can follow, favorite, subscribe. Everything's up here in my profile. If you have any questions, send me a direct message and I can help you. But Jazzy, absolutely, let me know and I'll get you that coaching application. We can get started. if there's something that hit you tonight that you feel like, wow, that's powerful, I may need to pay attention to that, or hey, I can relate to that, maybe I need to work on that, I'm your girl. I can help you realize how capable you are, to see the potential in your life of, okay, here I am, but here's where I want to be. What do I need to remove? What do I need to add? Maybe more positive influences. Maybe remove that toxicity. But it really starts with recognizing and making that decision yourself. I'm curious to know, as we're going into a new week, it's Tuesday, what your guys' goals are for the week. So my last comment I'm expecting from you all is in the comments, drop one of your biggest goals for the week. So just curious so we can keep each other accountable. What is a goal you have set for yourself this week? Book a vacation. I love that. I love that. So today I set a goal to work as an ambassador or model at SMF. It's a music festival in Tampa. And I actually got responded to and now have VIP tickets to work at the festival on Saturday and Sunday. So I will probably be streaming a little bit from there. And you can see some videos and pictures as well on my Instagram. Sunset Music Festival happens every year in Tampa. It didn't happen last year because of COVID. But I'm so grateful because I got the response in a day. And some people I know are buying and rushing to find tickets, and I was sponsored them, which was absolutely amazing. And it's going to be this upcoming weekend, Memorial Weekend. So you guys can keep up with that on my Instagram or right here on my stream. And also, if you guys are interested in my show, I'm here to remind you, this show right here is every single Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So every week, you will have valuable, educational, beneficial content right here on my stream. So you're feeling down, you're feeling out, you need a little extra motivation, discipline, accountability, push out of your comfort zone, I'm your girl. That's what I'm here for. And so grateful that Meet Me has allowed me to have an hour on this platform to share with you all and empower and guide you to show you what you're capable of. Let's do it, Cordell. I believe in you. I can't wait to see your coaching application. This girl's on fire. I love it, Kansas. Also, to wrap things up, I want you to know that you, my dear, are one of a kind. There may be people in your ear. There may be old friends, new friends, family members, teachers, little siblings, randoms, internet bullies, whatever you want to call them. There are people out there that are going to want to tear you down, to hold you back. They may feel jealous because they aren't where you are. Or they don't even see the potential in themselves. And I want to show you and remind you that you are so capable. Those dreams are in your mind and in your heart for a reason. Don't let them go. Don't allow others to keep or hold them or take them from you. Focus on yourself and what you want because that's there for a reason. You cannot please everyone around you, so there's no point of trying. No one's going to agree with everything you do. They may agree with, for example, I know people that agree with my coaching, but they don't agree with my modeling. I know people that agree with my modeling, but they don't think I should be a coach. I can't please everybody, but I'm doing what I want for me. If you guys like what you see here and you want to see more of it, I agree with you. I agree with you. That's why you got to just click on my name up here, favorite me, click on my name, smash that star, and check out my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. My YouTube has lots of fun videos, coaching videos, inspirational videos, modeling content with the behind the scenes of my photo shoots. We've got some fitness workout videos like how to get some abs, work on them abs. Always more fun, exciting content. So don't be afraid to follow me, smash that star, and I will be back tomorrow. I will be streaming for most of the day tomorrow and a little bit tomorrow night as well throughout my appointments and sessions, getting things done. I'm also taking on 2 more clients this week. So if you guys are interested in coaching, it's your last chance to apply before the month of June and get started for the summer. Let me know if you guys have any questions. And if you want to be a guest on the show, reach out. I can't read your mind, but I can read your DMs. Send me a direct message, Instagram, YouTube, favorite me, and I'll see you guys later. I love you guys so much. Have a great night. Bye, babes.